Good afternoon, everyone. It's Rachel here, and we are just going to do a little video, just doing a little bit of stitching. How I did show you these covers, and I just wanted to show you how I would approach doing them. That one's in the hoop. I just wanted to show you some. I've finished a couple, so we'll have a look at those. These are the sorts of colors: pinks, reds, greens, and mustards that I'm using, and I just wanted to show you on here. So this was one, if you remember from the first video, when I showed them, that I had recomposed. This was on this side, that was on that side. I separated them and joined them together with a strip of script, and then did some stitching there. I've done little bits of cantha stitching here and there in sort of like a green wool. And then this was a very faded flower, and so what I did was I just used this chunky, it's actually a brushed linen, linen viscose, linen something, REC linen 80%, and then linen 20%, I don't know, so only linen it says in Italian, and it's very soft, it's been brushed. And it's very strong, so I used that in the center, and then I just went around with this mohair creamy color and outlined the flower, and I thought that was enough, and then did some of the mustardy sort of yellow. I did pistol stitch there and a few French knots. Now down here my mum reminded me that I had this thread that I had forgotten. It's actually really nice, and I picked up this pattern. It was on the fabric and just did it with the gold, and I really love that. And then over here, I love this. I did a little bit of Santa's moustache. I was going to say Buffy in Italian, and a little bit of his hair, but I left the beard because I thought that was overkill. And then I tried this. I'm not sure, the jury's out on it, but I did weaving there for his furry coat top. And then I did all of the little girl's furry bits that would be around her coat. Gold buttons, and then I picked up that pattern that's over there with the gold thread here as well, and then just mustard yellow around the lace. So just kept it simple, but I thought it was a good video because maybe sometimes it's hard to, even for me, to think what bits will I stitch and what bits won't I stitch. This one here is completely cantha stitched. I did it like I'm doing Lulu's quilt. Haha. Funny joke, that one. I haven't touched that for ages, but each piece was done in a different direction. So up that one's up, that one's horizontal, that's horizontal, 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 but up there, up there, up there. Okay, and then I did thread painting on the flowers here, which I really love, and went around with the mustard. And then over here I picked up bits and pieces in this. It was quite faded out, and I really liked that. I think that might have been a misprint that I had, but I just picked up some of the colors and did a bit of stitching on there as well. So that's that one. And I'm actually going to enlarge the spine of this old book. I have quite a lot of those books, and this one is actually perfect. So what I'm going to do is cut the covers off. We'll do that together. See, it's a little bit bigger, so I'm going to cut the covers off and then glue them on each extreme, and I'm going to have a soft center. So we'll do that together. So that's that one. Remember I had prepared 7, so I've got a way to go yet. This one here is going to go on this book. It's quite a damaged book. I'm going to get rid of that spine. I can't stand those. It's pretty, but I can't stand the curved spines. I don't know why. I like them to be flat or soft. So I'm going to take that off, but it's going to go on this cover, and I'll rebuild it'll be a soft spine again. So I did embroidery. I picked up the lighter color in the leaves, and then did the darker bits in the berries, and then did lighter bits. I did a little bit of weaving here. This one was a little bit random. I had done scrunching up of the fabrics, stitching there. Absolutely love that. Went around the lace. This is one of my favorites, with the mustard. I did stitching excuse me, on the spine. This was all canthid, so I didn't bother doing anything on that. I did a little bit of weaving there and some stitching there, and down here as well, and up there. So I just kept it fairly simple because I really do love the fabrics and everything, and I just wanted to I could add a little something there. No, then that makes it all 2. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 things, so I think I'll leave that. So that's how I did that one. and I think that one's ready to go to make into a journal. And then I have this one. This is what the vertical ones are going on. Now this one was one of my, I think it was one of my Italian emblems pages. I think so. I appliqued a Santa on with the little, you know, the Victoriana. I added the ruffle, did some stitching down here, stitching there. I absolutely love that type of stitching. And I picked up these flowers here, and I really, I did that when I was up in Milan with Lulu, and I love how that turned out. I did some stitching on here. I am thinking I'm going to come in with one of these colours and do the centres. I was talking about that with Mum today. I think I'll come in and do the centers of those flowers, and then that one is complete and ready to go. So I wanted to get on, allow myself to do some stitching today so I can get on with these journals. Now I have this one in here. This is one of my document style journal pages, and I added that Santa there, and I have it coming over the edge. You've already seen the base of this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm working on this bit here. And so at the moment I have this pale green wool thread, which is really just I think it might be just a tapestry sort of thread. It comes in strands of 3. I don't even know. I don't think I've even had a brand. I bought it at the sewing basket in Oz, and I had a needle. I wonder where I put it. Where did it go? I just wanted to sort of go through with you guys. What bits do you stitch? Or maybe I'll just take another needle. Oh no, that's a Milner's. I'll get this one. It's a bit of a whopper of a needle, but I don't seem to see where I put my other one. So I'm sure it will appear. Hopefully not in my foot. How is everyone today? So what I decided to do here on these leaves is just pick up. I might decide to come in and do some of the dark, but I'm just picking up here and there the lighter colour. And if it's hard to distinguish, I just sort of make it up until I'm happy with it. So possibly I'll start one of the flowers just to give you the gist, because I know people struggle with that. And then I won't do it all, because then I want to jump around and see what other things need to happen on here. And sometimes, like, I don't start all planned. I just know I'm going to do this. I'm not all planned and knowing what I want to stitch when I start. Just as I'm stitching, something will pop into my mind. Oh, I want to do this over there, or that over here. So you sort of, it comes to me as I'm working along with it, and as it's evolving. So just a few stitches in there. Yep, that's enough. And I might even just jump up over here and put a few stitches. See, there's some pale green fading out. Maybe just to give that a little bit more oomph up there, I might put a couple of stitches in here and there. Add a bit more texture. Even just make it up if you can't see. Put one up there. It's not hard stitching, this type of stitching. The hardest part is really just knowing what do I want to do. Yep, and so I'll just end it off because it's too far to jump over there. So I would tend to keep on doing the same colour until I've finished it, and then I'll move on to the next colour. Let's see. I could do a little bit there on that very faded leaf. Maybe I will. But try and keep it kind of loose-ish. So I'm just going from either side to side to create the shape. I might just pop up here. Sometimes even just outlining something is effective, like I did on that previous one with the very light sort of creamy sort of flower. Okay, so you get the gist of the leaves. I've still got a few to finish, but I think we'll move on to the pink, just so we can keep the whole thing rolling. There's not much left on there anyway. So I still need to come down here and do a bit down here as well. With these flowers, you can make two choices, or you can do all of these sort of mid. There's a few tones. There's a very light tone that's almost white there. There's this mid tone, and then there are these lines, and then the dark. So that would be kind of like the mid tone. Or you could do, yeah, I think I might choose the mid tone. Just trying to see. This again is the same type of thread as the previous one, but in pink. It's very bright, I know. Not as bright as Fleurs, which I absolutely love, and I may pop in here and there. So what I might do here is, because it's quite pale, I could even actually colour it in. Let's see, I can see this shade here. So let's just start. Then if I don't like it, I can always take it out. It's a bit annoying, but I can. I already like it. Now remember, I'm not reserving any of these would-be journals, because I think it's fair to just, I'll let you know when they're done, if they're going to go in my shop. And what did I want to say? Yeah, also that takes the pressure off if I don't get them done. I feel a lot of pressure if they're reserved and I haven't had time to work on them, because things are a bit crazy at the moment. So that's that. Just trying to see where else to put the colour. I'm just going to start with this tone here and there in the bits that I can kind of make out, and then, and it will look terrible. It does go through the phase where it looks terrible. And if it continues to look terrible, then I know that I need to add more colour, more embroidery. I'm already feeling like I'm going to be doing those bits. I may end up colouring in the whole thing. So it is very washed out, because that's also the way Steph created the kit. Let's see here. I know I can see some down there. I'm trying to, not very successfully, I was wanting to change the sort of the direction of my stitches, but I haven't done that very well. Oh, now I can see those petals. I can see there's petals here, so here I can put some more of this colour. Because it's so faded out and I've got these pops of colour, I will need to do more stitching to make it more, give it a bit more definition, I feel. You just need to persevere. It does eventually come together. Whoops. I can see this leaf up here. Leaf, petal. It's not a leaf, it's a petal. I think it's ambitious of me to think that I might get these done today because it's already, what time is it? 4:16. Just had one of those mornings. I had to go and get the greys done, and that just can't be avoided. I thought about putting it off a few days, but then really I might as well just go, because then it delays the next time and I'm going home, so it all sort of fits really well. I'm not worried about jumping across because this is going to be glued down onto the base to make the cover, so it's no biggie. And I can see bits over here. I am going to have to get another thread, but that's all been with one thread. I can see this colour in here as well, but with bits of the darker colour in there. I'm trying to get away with not using another thread. I can probably put one more stitch in. Okay. It's good to also pull out, if you're thinking you're going to be using certain colours and you're not going to get it all done in one go, in one sitting, to gather them all into a pouch like this. And that way you've got them all there. Now I might use this for the lighter part, but I'll do that after. Oh, will I do that now? No, I think I'll do it after. I think I want to get, I want that colour. I think I want to go even darker and have this colour. Now that is super long, so I'll probably cut that. So Fleur periodically on her website has her dyed wools available for purchase. I just got, Sass and I just got these when we did her course. I think Mum got some as well. And it's the softest wool. It's so nice to stitch with. So I'm going to do the darker with this. This is just an Appleton wool, but I'll do all of these brighter bits with this colour. I'll just do one flower. I can do the other ones afterwards, because then I want to address and see what other things would I choose to do on this piece. And you can really just do what floats your boats. It's really, there's no rules. You just do what you think looks nice. Or sometimes you think it's going to look nice and then it doesn't and you have to take it out. And that's not fun, but it has to happen because otherwise it'll annoy you. See, it's already starting to take shape. And I'm not going to decide if I'm colouring that in yet until, oops, that came out. I've put in all these bits. So I've done all of the the darker shades. So I'm doing the darkers. It's actually really super relaxing too, especially when you don't have anyone watching you and you have to chitter-chatter, but I don't mind chitter-chatting, that's okay. So the man that lives upstairs, not above us, he lived in the front of the building. Like Steph and I were having a giggle the other day. He was a bit of a gigolo when he was younger. He's, you know, pensioner now, but he is, I got to tell you, he's quite a vain man. He's super tanned all the time. Like he's off to get the sun. He does the sun lamps. All winter he's tanned, and quite leathery skin because of the too much tanning. I mean, of course, a bit of tanning is healthy and good for vitamin D and that sort of stuff, and makes you look healthy. But anyway, sometimes we're giggling because I was saying, I don't know, Steffi said something to me, and I said, well, sometimes I look out my window here, and we've got the ramp here outside my window. Is the ramp down into the garage, and I've heard a noise out there, and I've stood up and leant over and I could see the ramp down into the garage, and there he is on the ramp, the car ramp where the cars go down, sunning himself. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what if one of the hoony people that live in the building come flying around the corner down the ramp? They'd just run him right over. He'd be squished on our ramp. So anyway, that just reminded me, because he just walked past in front of my window. He didn't see me. He'd be wondering, because he'd be able to see him, because I've got my light on. Oh, I forgot to mention that. That's why if you're seeing a bit of yellow, it's because it's quite dark outside. It's a grey day, foggy. We've had quite a lot of fog, and I needed to put my light on so that it will be a bit yellow. Okay, I'm liking that. Very happy. I'll leave that threaded. It's good to have a nice amount of needles too, if you can. Oh, look, I've gone through it, so that's going to be a bit of a shocker, but it's all going to be glued, so it actually won't move. I went through the thread. I'm going to leave that threaded because I'm going to come back when I finish the video and continue stitching. I need to put this colour in, and then we'll move on to something else, just so you can see. But you can already see how this is lifting. The piece is being lifted by the colours. Now, I don't need brown, so I'll take that off. Where did my threader go? Oh, over there. Okay. So the Appleton wools, because they're not that thick, they do thread onto the smaller-eyed needles as well. And I'm going to come in to the center here. And it's very subtle. You won't be able to see it that well, but it's just going to give us another shade, like we're colouring in with paints, really. Now, I could come in with the lighter colour, but I'm actually thinking that's it for this one. I put a stitch in there and you can hardly see it, so I'll just come back and put another random stitch in there so it's a bit more evident. And then I've got some dark colour over here. I mean, you could add different texture and add French knots. Now, another thing I could do in here is I could weave it with the lighter colour. I said I'm not going to do it, but I'm still thinking about it, actually. It's just popped back into my head. I'm going to just put a little stitch in here, I think. And there we go. It's a centre, and I will decide about that afterwards. Sometimes you need to step away. Like Mum was doing her, she's done a runner for our 3-day course. It's different to the one that we're teaching, but however, it'll be there on display, and you know, if you can incorporate, you know, add in some things like what Mum's done, then, you know, it's there for inspiration. See, I quite like that. I'm going to do the others and then decide if I want to do that. But Mum was, there was something that was bothering her with it. And she sounded quite frustrated when I spoke to her. And I said, it is frustrating, Mum. I get the shits. Excuse me for swearing, but I call it the SHITs. When things don't happen for me. So I'm going to pick up bits and pieces of Santa. I don't know if I like it, so I may unthread it, but we'll give it a go. I found my needle. Oh, there it is. I told you it would show up. Anyway, when things aren't happening for you, it is incredibly frustrating, and you get the you-know-whats. I won't say it again. Excuse me. I hope I didn't offend anybody. I do apologise. It just flew out of my mouth. Because really it does describe how you feel. But anyway, I said, Mum, I think it's beautiful, because she was showing me from what I could see on Messenger. I taught her to flip the camera around. That was something. Mum, that was highly entertaining, you flipping the camera around. But she did it, and I was able to see better. And so I thought it was looking wonderful, but Mum was annoyed with it. Oh, my God. Look at that stitch. It's coming out of his nose, his nostril. I'll get some more in there, and then it will be better, I hope. If I don't like it, well, I'll have to unpick it, and it won't be fun because I've been coming up next to where I went down. So it makes it a little more difficult to do. I think the trick is short and long stitch and having little stitches going astray, sort of like a mo would go astray a little bit, and not having it too tight. Like, we don't want perfect satin stitch going on here. Or it does, it looks like it's sprouting out of his nostril. Anyone who gets this journal can look at that and have a giggle. He's got the mo sprouting out. Hairy nostril. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that. It really is what it looks like. Don't know. You know, and then I don't know, and then what I'll do is I'll just continue on, not knowing. I'm sure I don't think he is going to have a part there. He's going to have a few stray little hairs there, which is making it look less like it's flying out of the nostril. It's now coming out of the tip of the nose. Poor Santa. Now, if you hear my heavy breathing, it's because I'm holding my breath sometimes. I need to get some air. Probably need another little stitch there. Well, oh, my thread broke. Oh no. Well, it's not a big deal. I'll tell you why. Because, as I mentioned before, we're gluing. So if I just get that to come through, I can snip that off. Totally broke. I'll just snip there and leave that thread long. Or what I can do is, oh, okay. Well, I leave that stitch there. And when I glue it, it will hold. See, that's all broken there, so I've got to make sure I do my knot up here. Let's see how we go. So that was obviously a compromised piece of mohair because I hadn't done that much stitching with it, so I couldn't say that it was because I had too long a piece. Yes, I do like it. I told you, it goes through the really unattractive phase, and then just all of a sudden you think, okay, yes, I do like it. I need to bring it down to here. Now this is because I'm on the edge here, so it's a little bit harder. Oops, I want that to go in there. Okay, and maybe put one more stitch down here because I don't want it to be too neat. Okay, oh, I love that. I'm not going to do the beard because I think that might be overkill. Now, another nice thing to do on these images, which I'm not doing because I have to pull them out, is ribbon embroidery is really nice on these. The French do that a lot. The French embroiderers I've seen on Pinterest do that a lot. And I've always loved that. I'm going to do a little bit of his hair just there. I'm not going to come down here, just around the hat. Like there's stray, I was going to say stray sprigs of hair, like it's a plant, shooting out from under the hat. Wouldn't it be lovely if we could sit and do this all day and stitch and just relax and do whatever? It's not quite how it works. So this is quite a damaged one, a postcard. Now I'm going to do that one up there because I feel like that's talking to... Oh, I didn't have a knot. Anyway, going back to Mum, I spoke to her then today, and that was on Sunday when I spoke to her, and she then today told me that she had resolved part of her issues on her runner, and I was like, well, you see, Mum, you just needed to step away from it. And also the other thing I said to Mum, you just, sometimes what you need to do is just do what's easy, like what you know you want to do. Like sometimes I don't know how something's going to proceed, but I know I want to do those flowers. I know I want to do this, and I'll worry about the rest when I get to it. Now Santa has very messy hair. Let me tell you that, Santa, you need to brush your hair. It's a mess. See, but then I've added those two. I like that. I need one shooting out here in the spirit of the messy hair. Yes, I like that. And then I'm going to, oh, I think there's a little sprig. No, strand shooting up here. And then we'll have some shooting out over here. Oops, that's a long bit of hair. You need a haircut, Santa. Now, I have gone a bit wild with the hair. I like it. It gives him character. Well, that's what I'm saying. Oh, I do. Look at that. He's looking frazzled. Santa's been working very hard. He's frazzled. He's a frazzled Santa. And then I need to have a couple down here. And then that's going to be it. Because his cheeks are red, so he looks like he's been doing exercise. Actually, his hair's not dissimilar to the man upstairs. He's got this kind of spiky hair. Oh, I like that. Hi, Santa. Yes, there you go. You got a bit of character. Okay, well, that was easy. I've done that now. Now, my next decision is, do I want to do I want to do embroidery on the berries? I probably do. I'm not sure. Or my other option is, but I would struggle to go around there, but my other option is, which is also very nice, is to just do, because there's a little bit of gold on that postcard, but what I think I could do is, might be able to thread that, because this is a gold thread, it splits, so I may need to use the threader, even though it had a big eye. And I'm just going to double it because it's very fine thread, so you want to have 2 strands if you have any gold thread that you have. And I like this gold because it's not really brassy. I am thinking I'm going to do some gold around, just little gold stitches, maybe quite close. You'll hardly even be able to see them, but I'm going to do them quite close together here. Yeah, I like that. Oh, I can just see the little sparkle larkle there. So that's going to happen. And I will struggle my way around the edge that is just the image. I don't have much to grab onto. I recommend if you're using a gold thread, sometimes they can be quite temperamental. You don't want your strand to be too long. So I may have to take it out of the hoop. Let's pop it out of that. Yes, it's very subtle, but I do like it. Now I will come back in another video. So these are just extra videos that I'm doing this month. And what could happen on a Monday actually, but we're doing other things on Monday, aren't we? I want to put the journals. The stitches won't sit quite the same. I want to put at least 1 or 2 together, maybe a document one and one of the hardcover ones, just to, take you through the process of putting it together. Okay. Got to be careful here not to pull it tight. Okay. So I'll just continue going around, excuse me, doing that. I'll just put that, I'll go around and do that, and I love that. And that's all I'm going to do on there. I don't think it needs anything else now that we've done. And look at his mo. Look at that. And the hair. I love that. It's given him some character. So gold around there, that's it. I'm going to do my favorite mustard around here, little stitches. I'll do little bits and pieces of stitches like this. So that's row cantha one way, row, and then the other way. And I try to do little stitches. So I'll do that. I'll probably do it in the pinky colours on here. What other thing could I? So I might come in here and just do the dark bit on the berries. I think I'm just going to do the dark bit on there. The cantha stitching up here. Got to finish this. I think this is going to be gorgeous. Now, the debate was out whether I should do something. I think I'll do some stitching to there. I don't think I'm going to do anything on there. I could come around it with little stitches. I think I might just do that. Yeah, cantha stitching here, cantha stitching around here. I'm going to have all the embroidery in here. We've done Santa, a little bit of embroidery down here, and that is it on this one. So that's all I'm going to be doing. So I wanted to talk about the next one, this one here, because this is a different composition. So this is more done on it's bits and pieces. So I'm going to do the thread painting on here, approach it just like I did the one I just showed you. There'll be a little bit of cantha stitching or thread weaving here that we've done before. I'm going to definitely do French knots in there with the berry colour and embroider the holly. And I'm going to outline this with probably a red or a green, red probably. I'll do some stitches around here in another colour, probably red. And for the rest of it, I'm going to, because there'll be a lot of work here, there'll just be cantha stitching in different directions. And probably the same up here. And I might pick up all the lighter colour in the berries or the darker colour, and that's it. I'm not going to do, maybe I'll do a little bit on the leaves. I'll just see how long the rest of it takes. So that is my video for today. I just wanted to show you a little bit how I approach these. We have the finished ones. Well, that one needs, actually that needs to come out with me. These are the types of little cantha stitching that I'm going to do around on these other ones. And here is the example again of just picking up a lighter or darker color. Just pick up one if you don't have time. And there might be a pattern somewhere on one of the prints that you like, that here, where it was just the very faint leaves with the little berries, and I just picked them up and did them with this variegated thread, and then did some French knots. I just wanted to come up here again. This is the example of the thread weaving, and going around the edge of the lace, and here I just did the berries. Just gives it a little bit of texture. Santa here could have a little bit on his mow and little sprigs of hair coming out there. I think I might do that. I seem to have become obsessed with Santa. Oh, and I think I might go around the edge of this. And then here I didn't do the mid-tone color. I did the lighter color and then the darker color. The next darkest color. I think I might come in on this one. I thought I had finished, but I think I might come in on that one with the darker, this one. I think I'm going to put that in there as well. And that is it, guys. So it's a really, really fun thing to do, as long as you don't stress yourself, and just pick up a few little bits and pieces that you want to accentuate and add a little bit more texture. And certainly this type of thing to me is really beautiful. Of course that is, but this, I love that as well, the effect of that, especially doing it with wool, little stitches going in one direction and then in the other direction. And you don't have to do a lot, but it's just nice where those stitches sort of cross over each other. I really like the look of it. It's very textural as well. So I hope you enjoyed that, and those of you who are stitching or you would like to give a go, I'm not doing anything particularly difficult here with the stitching. I mean, look at that already. That is just jolly to me. And I'm in love with that Santa. Look at that. So, yep, super fun. I hope you have fun with it. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.